Val Kilmer, the unforgettable force behind Top Gun and Batman Forever, has passed away at 65. His death on April 1st, 2025, after a long battle with throat cancer, has left a profound impact on fans and the film industry alike. Although his voice was taken by illness, his spirit, creativity, and legacy remain a force to be reckoned with. But what made him such a unique talent? And how can the world say goodbye to a man whose art will continue to inspire? In his final years, something deeply emotional unfolded. One particular scene in his last film left audiences in tears. It's a moment that will leave you speechless. Here's how the story behind the legend began. Born on December 31st, 1959, in Los Angeles, Val was the second of three brothers. But behind the Hollywood backdrop, there was hardship early on. His parents divorced when he was just 8, and then came tragedy. His younger brother Wesley, who had epilepsy, passed away when he was only 16. That loss would echo through Val's life and work, grounding him with a quiet depth you could feel in every role he took on. From the start, Val was different. He was accepted into Juilliard's prestigious drama division at just 17, the youngest person ever at the time. He trained alongside actors who would go on to be household names, but even in that crowd, Val had something rare, an intensity, a kind of fire you couldn't teach. And this fire is exactly what led Val into Hollywood. His early career was filled with odd jobs, poetry, and a deep commitment to craft. In the early 80s, he turned down major film roles to honor his stage commitments. But when his chance came, he grabbed it with both hands. Top Secret was his big screen breakthrough, and even in a comedy spoof, you could tell this was someone who cared about every detail. He even sang all his own songs for the movie.
So that's how I got to sing the songs live in the movie.
That's a big compliment.
Yeah, I'm still proud of that because it's such a strange thing to be able to do because he was a baritone tenor. And
then came Top Gun. As Iceman, Kilmer wasn't just a supporting character. He was a cool, collected counterweight to Tom Cruise's Maverick. The film became a cultural phenomenon, and Val shot to international fame. But he never chased easy stardom. He followed his own path, one filled with risk, art, and a refusal to be boxed in. When he played Jim Morrison in The Doors, it wasn't about mimicking a rock star. It was about diving deep into the soul of a complicated man. Val trained for months, dressed like Morrison, studied his poetry, and sang the songs himself. The performance was so convincing that even the surviving band members couldn't tell his voice apart from Morrison's. That's the level of dedication Val brought to the table. Through the 90s, he built a legacy of unforgettable roles. Doc Holliday in Tombstone, a character so haunting and layered it became a career-defining moment. He played Elvis, tackled Shakespeare, went toe-to-toe with Pacino and De Niro in Heat, and eventually put on the cape as Batman, even though it came with some technical difficulties.
Putting on the Batman suit in Batman Forever, you said...
I liked putting it
you
on?
likened it. You said that it was like...
I didn't like...
You didn't like it.
There's about 6 reasons. You need help getting dressed. Mm-hmm. It takes about 45 minutes to get undressed. This is true. You need help going to the bathroom. You can't hear anymore.
And while Batman Forever sparked mixed reactions, many, including Batman's own co-creator, called Val's portrayal the most faithful to the character. Then came a massive turning point. After the mega success of Batman Forever and Heat in the mid-90s, things shifted for Val. He took on a string of diverse roles.
To this story?
Yeah, to the character.
Oh, very definitely. It's always inspired me, and I think it's inspiring to everybody, regardless of your religious background, because it's such a distinctly human story, Moses.
Starting with The Island of Dr. Moreau in 1996 alongside Marlon Brando. Then, in The Saint in 1997, Kilmer stepped into multiple disguises and brought in over $160 million at the box office. By the late 1990s, he took on the iconic role of Moses in The Prince of Egypt and gave powerful performances in Joe the King and At First Sight, alongside Mira Sorvino. Kilmer never shied away from bold choices. He stunned audiences in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang in 2005 with Robert Downey Jr. and went dark in Bad Lieutenant in 2009 with Nicolas Cage. One of his most personal projects, Citizen Twain, turned into Cinema Twain, offering a glimpse into his own spiritual and artistic journey. With every role, Kilmer proved that he was anything but predictable, an actor whose legacy will always burn brightly in Hollywood.
I say, politics is just show business for ugly folk.
Even in the 2010s and beyond, when health challenges began to affect him more visibly, things didn't pause. Despite all odds, Val Kilmer kept creating. In 2010, he starred in The Traveler, worked with his close friend Francis Ford Coppola on Twixt, and played the villain Dieter von Kuntz in MacGruber. He also performed Citizen Twain at William Woods University, earning an honorary doctorate for his artistic contributions. In 2012, he was Grammy-nominated for Best Spoken Word and appeared in the Lotus Community Workshop, playing a surreal version of himself. He later directed Cinema Twain, based on his stage project about Mark Twain and Mary Baker Eddy. Kilmer's diverse roles continued with Planes in 2013, Song to Song, and The Snowman in 2017, and Pay Dirt alongside his daughter in 2020. In 2022, he returned as Iceman in Top Gun Maverick. His documentary Val, released in 2021, offered an emotional look at his life and won 2 Critics' Choice Documentary Awards. And his personal life was just as happening. Over the years, he shared his life with icons, Angelina Jolie, Cindy Crawford, and more. But it was on the set of Willow where he met actress Joanne Whalley. They fell in love, married in March of 1988, and had 2 children together, Mercedes, born in 1991, and Jack, born in 1995. Both of them would follow their father into the world of acting. Val's career came with friction, though.
Why are you hiding your face? Come on. Hey, what are you doing, man? You can't something like that, dude. You can't something like that.
Stories floated around about him being difficult on set, fights with directors, tension with co-stars. He clashed with Marlon Brando during The Island of Dr. Moreau and was labeled impossible by Joel Schumacher. But others saw a different side. Mira Sorvino, his co-star in At First Sight, said he was kind, professional, and deeply committed to his craft. Sometimes, brilliance and burden live side by side. However, Val Kilmer's last days are a subject that hurts to even speak about, because it wasn't just the loss of a gifted actor, it was the heartbreak of watching someone so full of life and creativity slowly lose the very tools that made him who he was. Then came the last chapter of Val's life. In 2011, Val sold off his sprawling 6,000-acre ranch in New Mexico. It was his refuge, and a place where he hiked, fished, raised bison, and escaped the pressures of Hollywood. Val wasn't just an actor. He was a musician, a painter, a poet. He once released a demo album titled Sessions with Mick and filled canvases with his thoughts. He lived boldly, loved widely. His health took a devastating turn in 2014. After noticing a lump in his throat, he tried to carry on, but things worsened. In 2015, he was hospitalized, and eventually, the truth came out. He had been in a brutal 2-year fight with throat cancer. He was a lifelong Christian Scientist, and when he was diagnosed with throat cancer, he didn't call it that. He referred to it gently as the suggestion of throat cancer. For a long time, he avoided the traditional path of treatment because of his faith, but eventually, he chose to undergo chemotherapy. It was a difficult decision, one that showed the quiet war he was fighting between belief and survival. A tracheotomy left his voice just a soft rasp. To speak, he had to plug in an electric device to his throat. Yet even in that state, he continued to create. He worked with a software company in 2021 to digitally recreate his voice using artificial intelligence. More than 40 versions were made to get it just right. And in Top Gun Maverick, his voice, though digitally adjusted, was his own. That scene, where he returns as Iceman, took on a whole new meaning. It wasn't just a callback, it was goodbye. And nobody could have talked about it better than Tom Cruise.
I just want to say that was pretty emotional. I've known Val for decades, and for him to come back and play that character, he's such a powerful actor that he instantly became that character.
On April 1st, 2025, Val Kilmer died of pneumonia in Los Angeles. He was 65, and even though he had battled illness for years, his death felt sudden, sharp, and unbearably sad. The outpouring of grief and admiration for Val Kilmer's passing has been profound. Nicolas Cage, reflecting on their collaboration in Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, lauded Kilmer as a genius actor, asserting that he should have won the Oscar for The Doors. Francis Ford Coppola, who directed Kilmer in Twixt, expressed in an Instagram post, "He was a wonderful person to work with and a joy to know. I will always remember him." Similarly, Jim Carrey, who starred alongside Kilmer in Batman Forever, praised his grace and courage, highlighting the indelible mark he left on the film industry. I'm remembering Val Kilmer today with great admiration for him as a man and as a generational talent who left us an enviable legacy of indelible acting performances, Carrey told Hollywood Reporter. His greatest artistic achievements were rivaled only by the grace and courage with which he endured his life's most challenging moments, wishing his family so much love. What do you think about Val Kilmer's legacy? Was he as underrated as people claim him to be?